Hello everyone, welcome back for another process video. I'm working on more 6x8 pocket pages for photos from my trip to Scotland. These are still from Edinburgh. Yes, it's taking me a while to get through all those, but we're getting there. I do have something on either side of these, so these are the pockets that I'm forced to work with essentially. These are the pictures I have. So I've got a couple 3x4s. Oops, there we go. I've got one 4x6 only, so it's got to go in one of these slots, obviously. And then I saved this little receipt, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to use it, but I kept it because I specifically made a stop here in order to find a gift for a friend, because whenever I travel, she likes me to bring back an ornament for her. And so we were walking down the street, and I happened to see that they had a Christmas shop, and I thought, this is perfect. I have to go in and see if I can find my friend a present. And I did, obviously. So this is my receipt. So I want to work it into one of these pockets somewhere if possible, but I'm just not sure that it goes. So I'd have to find a card to attach it to that maybe works with these photos. And then the bigger problem is one of these 4x6 has to be a card of some type, because I don't have any other photo that's going to fit in there. I don't have any other memorabilia type stuff other than this. This is too small to go in there. So I have pulled out all of my 4x6. Look at these old CM containers. Does anybody remember those? I've kept mine because they're quite sturdy. So now I put my 4x6 cards in there that are all travel related. And then I have all my 3x4 cards that have a travel theme of some kind. Now these are all things that just have sayings or background things. And then these are all my 3x4s that I think I could use to journal on a travel page. So I have lots of stuff to sort through and see what might work with this. Well, in looking through, I'm going to adjust this just a little bit here. There we go. In looking through my 4x6 cards for this spot, I discovered I don't have a lot that are meant for journaling. I have a lot that have stuff on the background, phrases or pictures or something, or images that are on the background, but not a lot for journaling. So I only found 4 cards that I think would be somewhat acceptable. So here's one, and I thought maybe this one because it's yellow-ish. It's more like the yellow that I had over here than it is like this yellow, but don't really have anything else that will bring out that color. And I thought about switching this over here and putting the yellow on in this spot, but then I think it's too much red over here. So I think I'm going to keep the Jolly Judge where he is and work with this over here. So I'm not sure this is the winner. The yellows don't exactly match, and that's a lot of yellow then on one page. I actually have 2 similar cards here. They're both kind of these speech bubble things. This one is a little bit more worn or grungy looking, which might work because all these buildings are very old and kind of worn looking here. You can see that. This one's a little bit more modern because it's got the solid black and then polka dots. So I like them both, and they would work because there's black in these photos. So either one would work. We'll see. And then I have this one, which is gold, which kind of works with the yellow. They're not the same, but it's close. And this kind of has a gold hue to it because the lights had just come on in the early evening. And then there is a little bit of gold right here in this sign. So I'm not 100% sold on any of these 4. So I'm not going to decide yet. I'm going to think about it while I'm trying to find what I'm going to use behind this receipt. Well, I decided to switch it up a little bit. I moved this picture from this side and this one from this side. Change those up a little bit so this has a little bit more balance of blue. This does have more red now, but there's still red in both of these. I've decided that I'm going to go with this journaling card, so it ties in the black in all the photos. And then I found this. It's very metallic gold, and I think it'll work with the receipt because it still shows up nicely. There are circle elements which kind of remind me of the ornaments in the shop. And with that little bit of gold here, this gold kind of halo, and that yellow, I think it'll work. So I'm going with that. Let's see if I can find my adhesive here. There we go. I'm going to attach it before I change my mind. And I realize this is not archival safe and everything. But I'm okay with it because it's not touching a photo. So I am just going to put it on here. It will probably yellow over time. I'm accepting that. I'm willing to deal with it. There we go. So that's how that one will look. I'm happy with it. So I'm glad I found that. It's a little bit sort of unexpected, I think, that pattern. And that's why I went with this, the card that had the more grunge look to it rather than the sophisticated one. And then with the sign for the Jolly Judge, I mean, you know, it's a pub. You're there to have fun. I figured that kind of went with this theme. They were all sort of unusual things. And I have to say, this alleyway, just look at this. It's not even an alleyway. It's just like a sidewalk area between these two buildings, a little bit off of the main downtown area of Edinburgh. It made me think of Harry Potter. Like I was walking near Diagon Alley or something. Look at these old buildings, and then the sign here is so cool, and that you can just sort of see off into the distance and it sort of trails off. I like that perspective. So I think this is a fun one. So I think all of these elements will go together well for that. I wasn't going to do anything else to the card that has the receipt on it, but then I found this little embellishment and I thought it worked well because it helps bring in some of the blue that's mostly on this side now. And then there are little stars on here. It's kind of hard to see, but there are little stars there. And I thought that would sort of keep, you know, with the theme and with the other photos that are in there. So I think I'm going to take my grungy speech bubble card and put these on there. So I have another one of those blue stars that I used over here, plus 2 yellow, which will also work with the yellow and gold elements. So that is my plan. There are the star embellishments that I attached. I'm liking them. So my last thing is this photo. Originally I thought I wasn't going to do anything with it, but it feels kind of blank. So I think I'm going to put this little tag right here, kind of hanging off the edge. Thought about maybe putting it over here, but this already has stuff going on. This is kind of busy. I've added things here, so I felt like it would be unbalanced to put it on this photo. So I think I'm going to work with it on this side. I've decided that for that little tag label here, I'm going to use this stamp that says "Let's Go." As you can see, there's a lot of ink stains on these stamps. They're very well loved. They're very old too, and there's no clue on here as to who made them or when. So I'm sorry, I can't say that, but I love these, and I'd be hard pressed to ever give them away. So we're gonna go with "Let's Go." So I've stamped on the label. I did ink around it. Hopefully you can see that in that light brown, just to bring it out a little bit from those steps. So now I'm going to adhere it. And I only want about 3/4 of it this way because I'm going to end up cutting off that last little bit. So I think about like that. I want to leave enough room for a little staple. So there, I think that's pretty good. I'm just going to cut off the excess right along the edge there. If I can pick it up, there we go. All right, so then we've got that, and then I'm going to take my mini stapler here and just put in a tiny staple like so, and that one is done. So let's put this all together here and see what it looks like when everything is ready. And actually, this is the back of the paper that's on this side, or the card. I almost thought about keeping that, but I thought the colors were a little bit too distracting. There's green in there, and I don't really have any green in this photo. So, you know, I'm noticing right now as I'm putting this in, look at that. Either my other card is slightly too big, or this isn't a true 4x6, because you can see. Now, could I cut off anything? Possibly on the other side I could. But for now, it doesn't bother me too much, so I'm going to leave it. Get that one in the upper left. And this one in the upper right. I do love that yellow. And then I always do, well, not always, but most of the time I do my journaling off camera. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I just want it in there to see how it looks. So that is the finished layout if I keep it as it is right now. And you know what? I think I will. I like it. I like the arrangement. I like that I found this gold just to add a little bit. It's still yellow, kind of, but a little bit of a pop. That nice metallic sheen certainly helps. And then just a few little embellishments, and that's it. This one is good to go. So I hope you enjoyed watching my process and how I selected everything and put it together. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.